Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, brought to you by the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. We are your co-hosts and founders of the network, Andrew Gay, Gilbert Pies, and Tom Fox. Here in the studio today, we're going to talk about and discuss our top news picks for the week. Tom is joining us remotely, so why don't you do the honors, as always, Tom, and kick us off?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, and hello, Gilbert. So there's a couple of stories that caught my eye this week. The first one is the announcement by Kerr County Tax Assessor Collector Bob Reeves that his office will no longer run elections. And this is just a terrible thing for Kerr County. He has run these elections for, 20 years, and one of the most respected county officials, but he can't abide by this nonsense of hand ballots or hand counting of ballots that one of the county commissioners is advocating. He said that he couldn't defend it if asked to at a court of law, and he anticipates one or more lawsuits, no matter which way the county commissioners vote, having brought this nonsense up. And it shows the real disservice that these types of allegations are driving down even into a county such as Kerr County, which there's never been any allegations of voter fraud, voter tampering, or anything along those lines. And yet the county tax assessor collector, they're about to implement a system that he says he can't support and he can't even defend. So that was, I thought, pretty disconcerting news this week. The county commissioners have apparently not accepted his resignation, but I don't think they have any say in it. He has statutory authority under the state of Texas to make this determination and resign. So that's story number one. Story number two is the county's continuing either refusal or desire not to pass a budget. And they have a big shortfall and they have to make that up. And they can either whack services to a level that is not sustainable for our county, or recognize that if they want to have the bare minimum of services, they're going to have to fund those services. And I think the people of Kerr County are willing to fund the minimum services. We're not going to ask for A+ or super duper payments, but it just seems to me that the county commissioners need to do their job, and they have to pass a budget, and that budget is either to meet the funding shortfall or slash services to meet the revenues, and they refuse to do so. So I'm very disappointed in the Kerr County commissioners, the stance they took on alleged fraudulent voting allegations in Kerr County, which of course are non-existent, and now refusal to pass a budget. So on that somewhat downer note, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Positivity, Gilbert Pies.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. I've got a couple of interesting stories I want to talk about today. You know, there's been a lot of controversy over the past few weeks about the drought and the conservation measures that are being passed countywide to help us preserve the little water that we have. And of course, one of the bigger players in that discussion is the Headwaters Groundwater Conservation District, the HGCD. These are the folks. It's a subdivision of the state of Texas. They're charged with managing the water resources in Kerr County in particular. There are other groundwater control districts in the state, but this one in particular is for Kerr County. And they have a really interesting position of authority when it comes to water resources in the Hill Country. Of course, you know, they are the ones that regulate and try to help and preserve the water resources in Kerrville, in Kerr County. And one of the things that caused this big issue here lately is that they were instantly or very quickly moving to stage 4 conservation measures. And because of their unique position that they occupy in the state government, they really don't have a lot of ability to enforce some of their conservation measures. And that's where the controversy lied with the city of Kerrville. They really didn't have the ability to force the city of Kerrville as a pumper from the groundwater to minimize or reduce their pumping that they do. But it's interesting what they've done. They have the ability to shame people, I think, more than anything else. And according to some of the news reports I read, really about the only thing they can do is write nasty letters and say, you need to reduce your pumping. But they also regulate county people out in the county that have private wells. And there again, too, because of so many private wells that are in Kerr County, it's very difficult for them to, number one, keep track of them. And number two, regulate the pumping that happens there, because there's no mechanism for them to be able to go over and check very easily what people's pumping is from the different wells and aquifers that we have here in Kerrville, so in Kerr County. So I also read through their website. They have a really interesting 140-page report on the topographic geography of Kerr County. And it's a very interesting read. I would recommend people go to their website. It's Headwaters Groundwater Conservation District.org, hgcd.org.
We'll try to remember to put that in the notes.
Yeah, and read some of the information that's out there about what they do and how they do it. They're a very big player, but they're a very quiet player in Kerr County because of what they do and how they do it. That's story number one. Story number two, I want to talk about a little bit. This just came to mind a couple days ago, and I wanted to make sure people knew about it. It's called the unclaimed property. The state of Texas maintains a list from the Comptroller of Public Accounts, and this list is unclaimed property. There are different entities that are required to turn over money to the state of Texas when they can't find the owner of the property. So we're talking things like mortgage and title companies, insurance companies, oil and gas companies, different businesses, securities brokers, utility providers. They're all required to turn over money to the state of Texas that they can't seem to locate the owner. And if you go through and check out the Comptroller of Public Accounts of Texas, you can find a big list out there. It's unclaimed property. You could always Google Comptroller of Texas unclaimed property, and there's a very snazzy internet search engine that you can look through and find, utilize your name, business names, different cities, states, or different cities and first names, last names, all that good stuff, and find out if you are owed any money from some of these different entities that have to report. And in addition, the city of Kerrville, or in particular KPUB, the public utilities in Kerrville, also has a list on their own website of people that they owe money to. And I looked at that list today, and it ranges anywhere from $1.50 to, there was one guy that had over $1,200 that was owed to him from KPUB. So it might be worthwhile to take some time. In fact, for Andrew, I looked over at the comptroller's list of unclaimed property, and I found some money for him, for his sister, for his mom, and for his dad. Now it wasn't a huge amount of money. It's not going to change anybody's life, but it's out there and worthwhile to check. And Tom, by the way, I went ahead and put your name in that list too. And depending on what your address was in Houston, Texas, there's quite a bit of money out there for Thomas Fox. So you might want to check it too.
I've actually looked at that list, and none of those people are me. So thank you.
Oh, man. Well, maybe you need to make up a fake ID or something with an address there and, try it anyway. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's a process to go through to claim it. You can't just say, oh, my name's Tom Fox, and here, give me all that money. They need some proof. But, maybe next time, Tom. And then the last story I wanted to share with everybody, it's an event that's coming up this weekend. In case you don't know about it, it's the Hill Country Swap Meet. It's at the Happy State Bank Hill Country Youth Event Center. It's indoors, so it's shaded. It's not air conditioned, but they've got these huge fans, and it's a swap meet, garage sale, craft fair, all rolled up into one. And it's really, really fun. It's interesting. There's always something new. I would encourage people to go over there and check it out. It's on the first Saturday of every month, except for the summertime. I think they're starting up the fall season now. It's from 8 to 3, and it's at the Hill Country Youth Event Center, like I said. And it's a really good time. I always enjoy taking my kids out there because they always find something neat. Whether you're looking for books, plants, arts and crafts, paintings.
They got it all out there.
They've got it all out there. Clothes and furniture, you name it, it's out there. You need to go check it out. Hill Country Youth Event Center, the Hill Country Swap Meet.
That's right. And I did throw the other two links in the comments there. So the Groundwaters Conservation is hgcd.org. Isn't that right? That's what
Yes,
you had. And
right.
then claimittexas.gov.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And then so for myself here, I just got a couple of quick mentions. And both of these are tied into podcasts that the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network has actually helped develop for or has included or been associated with both of these entities. And one is, so this, I think it's today is the deadline for the Youth Leadership Program, or also known as KALA, here locally. And we had them on, we had the honor of having them on our leadership podcast. I think they did the Hill Country podcast with Tom Fox. I think that same episode is out there, cross-posted, but that was an adventurous and very interesting podcast episode. Would suggest going check that out if you haven't seen it, but make sure you get your application in because the deadline, I believe, is today. It says Friday. It could possibly be next Friday, but either way, your time is running thin there. If you have an interest in having an interest in the youth leadership there, whether you are a youth or you're a parent and you think your kid would be happy to participate in that. And then secondly, I wanted to mention the Hill Country Astronomers, who has been on the Night Sky podcast that Tom Fox and I do, to talk about the eclipses coming to Kerrville here next month and in April of next year. They have a meeting. They announced that they have a meeting coming up September 5th. So this is this coming Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I believe it's a regularly scheduled meeting, but it's at the Hill Country University Center over in Fredericksburg off Highway 290. I suggest dropping in over there and checking in on those folks. If you've never been to one of their meetings, it's very different. If you've never kind of delved into the world of astronomy, I've been to several myself. I brought my wife along with me. I know I enjoyed it. I'm not sure she enjoyed it as much as I did, but I have an affinity for astronomy. So anyway, they're turning their focus over to the eclipses that are coming here. Like I said, we had one person already speak on one of the podcasts, Bruce Barton, I believe, and then we actually are planning on having several of their other members join us too as well for that podcast. So anyway, they're meeting this coming Tuesday, and we're heading into Labor Day weekend. So just in the spirit of Labor Day weekend, I wanted to ask either one of you guys if you had anything exciting planned. Are you just going to be hanging out, continuing your rain dance? What's going on this weekend, Tom?
Well, I'm certainly going to continue the rain dance, but I want to shout out, Gilbert actually shouted out to this on our last episode, but I want to re-shout out to the 5K walk on Monday, Labor Day, that is being put on. The Rotary Club is not hosting, but are providing volunteers. Hope everybody will get out and walk at that event. I believe it benefits Riverside Nature Center. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hope there's rain, but maybe follow sort of Gilbert's prescriptions on our watering and understand that everybody's in this together.
Great. That's
right.
Great.
No showers all weekend. No showers for anybody.
You have to shower in the river.
Let me just throw in, I actually had to do some legal research on that funds that the state has. And if no one claims those funds, there's a legal term, and it cheats to the state, meaning
right.
The state gets to keep that money. So if you don't claim your money, the state's going to get it. And whatever you think of the state of Texas, they probably don't need your money. So you got money in there, claim it. Otherwise, it's going to be forfeited to the state of Texas.
That's right.
And we don't need to give the man any more of our own hard-earned money.
They get plenty of it.
That's right. They already get it.
Any exciting plans?
I'm going to Hill Country Swap Meet. I'm going to go see what I can find interesting out there. I usually come away with something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a book, pocket knife, a shirt, a lava lamp. I mean, something weird there's always stuff out there. You're just like, wow.
Yeah.
My kids like makeup. My little girl likes makeup. My I was gonna say my little boy likes makeup. No, he doesn't. My girl likes makeup, and my boy likes all kinds of weird stuff. So he, whatever. We're gonna go to the swap meet, spend a couple hours out there, and just walk around. And sometimes it's just good to just people watch too.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo Gil again because we're gonna go. We go every time. They've got albums. They've got books.
Yes,
they've got some sweeties. They always have some dogs for adoption, and we always check out. Although we just got our third rescue dog, so we're not in the market for any more right away. But yeah, it's a great time. Really nice prices out there. A good way to spend some time with the kids, the family. The barbecue food truck is out there, so you can get a great barbecue sandwich.
It's Buzzies, right?
It's just a fun way to spend an hour or two on a Saturday afternoon.
Yep,
it's great. And then for myself, I was going to go to the Rotary Walk Monday morning, but I think I'm most excited about. I'm participating in a September 11th challenge that involves a Stairmaster and climbing many floors, in honor of the heroes that were around on September 11th, and the opening for that starts September 4th. So Monday morning I'll be out there doing that. So until then, we're just going to rest. My folks just got here last weekend, so we're going to be helping them continue to get settled in. So they are happy to be here in the Hill Country, and my wife and I are very happy that they're here too. So, okay, guys, I think that'll do it. Tom, thank you for tuning in remotely. I think that worked out okay. And I hope that both of you have a fantastic Labor Day weekend, and all of our listeners out there, stay safe, try to stay cool, but we will catch you back here next week. Take care. Have a good one. See you then.